Greetings and welcome to Macroeconomics here at Newberry College. So today, actually in this little short video, I'm going to answer the question, why should you really be interested in this class? Why should you be taking this class? I know a lot of you here are just, actually macroeconomics is part of a requirement for your major. There's actually so many more reasons why you should actually really care a lot about macroeconomics. So this video is going to tell that to you. Actually explain what by the end of the class you should expect on gaining. So there's a couple of things. Macro, big, right? Macro. Economics, guess what? Relates to just about everything. Economists can have so much to say about so many different aspects. So we're going to start off with some really big picture ideas. So you see this world behind us, see lights, obviously a satellite picture, a lot of different modern lights, and we see this modern society. We look around, how do we actually get to be in a modern society full of, computers and all this technology we see around us? Just take a look around. How do we get there? How did that all happen? Sort of think about the social evolution of the human history of things. So macroeconomics, we can speak to some of those really big pictures, which some of you might be interested in, some of you may not. But guess what? If you're not, got other things that I'm sure that can interest you. So the other thing is that all of you all are, let me just go from here. All of you all are business majors, right? So whether you are in sports management, or whether you're marketing, whether you're in accounting, or whatever your business major is, macroeconomics is going to help you become a more astute business professional. What do I mean by astute? I mean, you'll be able to actually see sort of hopefully what the business environment is and make better business managerial decisions based upon that business environment. So, things such as, hey, should I buy a house now? Should I wait? Should I finance it? Should I buy it with cash? Those kind of questions. Should I start a new factory? Should I, expand my plant operations? All those kind of questions. Should I buy domestically, abroad? What would be my expectation about the future prices in different countries? If I'm sourcing from one country, do I think that those prices will be going up or down? All of those type of questions will filter into you making better business decisions and being a more astute business professional. So economics is going to be related to just about everybody who cares anything about business. And I hope all of you all do care about business, because that's probably your major. So there's another reason. During the class, we're going to also talk a lot about business cycles. So the economy itself, the evolution over time, you'll see that there's periods where the economy has good booms, and then there's times when it slumps down and you have these recessions. And so this class will help you understand, how do we and why do we have this sort of cyclical behavior in the economy? Understanding these cycles becomes really important, because you can understand the trajectory of, first off, where are we at now, and the trajectory of where are we going, and what would we expect to go in the future. So, you can start to really understand the trends, what drives the trends, and start to understand, how the cycle might go. And this will help you make better business decisions. There's also things in the current news, if you've been reading at all, that inflation is a big deal in the news today. So inflation's, being talked about everywhere. And if even if you didn't read the news and you just, go out there and purchase things, you probably witnessed that stuff costs more money these days. I mean, I think everybody gets a sense of this, right? But what is actually driving those price increases? How long should they last? What's a proper expectation about the future inflation? And what's the government going to do? And what should they do? And what are the consequences of government action trying to stem off inflation? All of these things are super important for current events. So by the end of this class, you should be really up to date on understanding inflation, understanding all the different nuances, and again, making you a better business person. We also got economics, as in this class, macroeconomics, also talk about government spending. So, this has become a huge topic. Why? Because our deficits have gotten so huge. If you want to know, last time I checked, I think it was over $30 trillion. Over 30 trillion. That's just a mind-boggling amount of money. Now, spending 30 something trillion dollars has clear implications for the current climate and also the future climate. And we need to talk about these things. So, also understanding, what's the motivation behind government spending? Is there an economic justification for any of this? With the implications, consequences, all that stuff, very important for your future. Also, we'll talk about banking. So what are the roles of banks? How did they actually, banks perform a very you'll probably take them for granted. Just go, swipe your card. Maybe you have a bank account that you just kind of use every once in a while. But actually, the banking itself plays a fundamental role in our economy and our society. And so by the end of the class, you'll understand that. Big picture things. So again, what we talked about before are a lot of things that help make you a more astute business investor, business manager, but also macroeconomics will help you understand, like I said, sort of the social evolution of society. We look back, economics can sort of explain this sort of trend in economic development from prehistory all the way to the modern world, when we're hunters and gatherers, all the way through merchants, and got into manufacturing, and there's a thing called an industrial revolution. How did that come to be? What are the implications? There's a whole history of human development that economics has a lot to say about. And why? Because technology has driven so much of our development. You think we're not sitting around a cave right now, cooking meat over a fire, right? You live in a modern world. How did that modern world come to exist? So understanding that, and also understanding, looking forward into the future, this helps you to really understand sort of long-term horizons of things, which may or may not be interesting to you. I hope it is, because this is the human experience. But in the real human experience, we see that the benefits of technology, they're not all equally shared across the world. So actually, there's large portions of humans in the world who are living in extreme poverty and who have not shared in the same technological evolution as the modern sort of more advanced, higher income kind of countries have. So, why did that happen? Why are some countries rich and some countries poor? That's a big question. How does that evolution look over time? Is there hope for some of these countries to escape? What's driving some of these countries to get caught into poverty traps? These are big questions that actually have real, huge impacts on people's lives around the world, a huge number of people's lives. So from a world citizen perspective, I hope you care. Hope you care. I really do. Because, so many people are struggling, and I think it's critical to understand, the pathways for them to escape some of these poverty traps, how they got stuck there, and at least just to understand it in that general sense. You're going to gain that in this class. Finally, and this I guess goes back, the final point I'll say is this really comes back to the business savvy kind of perspective, is that we're going to talk about exchange rates. So, US dollar to the euro to other types of currencies, and understand, what's driving those different fluctuations and how those all play in to the macroeconomy. And, you might think to yourself, well, hey, I don't ever plan on becoming an international investor, so this might not matter. Guess what? You're totally wrong. This applies to everybody. Why? Because most things we buy, that you buy, that I buy, are actually not made in America. Most things we actually import. The U.S. is a net importer. So, when you go buy stuff in foreign countries, which actually you do all the time when you go to places like Walmart or you go shop on Amazon, you're actually sourcing a lot of those things from foreign countries. And a lot of the prices that you end up paying are partly due to changes in these exchange rates. So understanding exchange rate fluctuations really has a very, very profound impact on your understanding of how prices might also move, and sources of price movements on the things that you buy. And I think hopefully that motivates you to care enough. The point of all this is that I really hope that I know you have to, I know a lot of people have to take this because it's a requirement, but I'm going to challenge you because actually there is so much in this class that can apply to so many aspects. And I really do think that, you know, if you change your focus, or if you adopt the focus of, hey, I really am curious and I want to learn about these things about society, you're going to gain so much out of this class. You know, if you're just stuck on the grade, just try to get the grade, just try to get by. Yeah, you can get the grade, you can get by, but you'll be missing so much more. So there's so much here. There's so many different little gold nuggets for you to grab. And I just hope that you grab one. Why? Because I want you to have it. I want you to own it. I want you to own your education. I want you to own this experience. And so one way you can do that is come find me if you need me. I'm in McClurg. Okay, currently in McClurg on the 3rd floor. You can come up there and find me in my office just about actually Monday through Thursday is my current schedule. So so come find me. Hope to see you, and hope that we can have a very vibrant discussion about our world, about the world economy. And I hope that in this discussion, your life is transformed forever. That's my hope for you. So hope to give that to you. Hope you achieve that, and best of wishes in this course.